Okay, everybody. My name's Kevin. Welcome to my shop. This morning, I am going to be doing another scrap piece pin assembly. Had a friend of mine, an acquaintance, asked me, how do you do that? And I said, well, it's really difficult. I can't hardly explain it, it's so difficult. But what I do, I pick out and cut the pieces that I want, an approximate size, thickness. Once I get it to this point with the colors I want to use, today it's going to be blues and purples with one piece of red. So I have a jig here that once I get these trued up on my disc sander, and I'm going to show you how I do that right here, right now. Kinda, maybe. Alright. What I do is I take my pieces and just set them on my platform for my disc sander, and I have a piece of wood, maple, that's trued up square to my fence. And what I do is I take each piece, I take my little deal here, and all I'm doing is flushing these up. I think you get the idea of what I'm doing here. So when I'm done, I'll show you what I have. Okay, I just finished up the last piece. Turn off my noisy disc sander, and then we go back to my workbench. And then I have just two pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, approximately 8 inches long on the bottom one, probably 10 or 12 inches long on the top one. I can tell you for sure, 11 inches on the top one, and 8 inches on the bottom one. And all this is, it's got box tape on there, and that's just to help keep the super glue from sticking. So what I do is I start out, I take medium CA, make a little puddle like that, take my next piece, put a little bit of accelerator on it, and put it on the jig, and stick them together. Take my next piece, a little bit of accelerator there, medium CA, and I just work my way down the line. And once again, I'll just work my way through these, and when I'm done, I'll show you what we have. Alright, allow that last little piece to dry there. A little bit of persuasion, and that comes off. And there you have your blank in its rough form. And what we do now is go over to the table saw. There are more. Alrighty. There we have it. All cut, all glued, all my pieces glued together. Back over here with me, and lay out my pin kit that I'm going to use. I'm going to use a cigar style pin kit in black chrome. Lay this out on my bench. I go to my grinder, stick a drill bit through here, and I just let that turn on the grinder wheel, and it's rough like it is the ones you get from some of the big name companies. And what I'm getting at is I want to save as much of this blue on this end and as much of the blue on this end. So in order to do that, I'm going to cut the middle out of the center section of the wood. And that's just a piece of cherry, so it's lost there. Alright, let's go over, cut that section out. I cut more of the center out of this piece of cherry in the middle, and then I left more of the pieces on the end that I want to get into my pin kit. And then I'm going to take my thick CA glue. You want to put enough glue on your tube so that it coats the inside of the pin blank, but not so much that it's dripping all over the place. I see some guys that put it on and let it drip all over their workbench, and I'm like, why waste that much glue? Push tool that I paid so much money for. I'll tell you, when the humidity is way up, your CA glue will dry faster. Especially pushing it into a hole on a pin tube like this, it just tends to set up really quick. That's how humid it is right now in Green Bay. Alright. As I'm pushing in, like I always say, twist back and forth. That way you spread your glue evenly on the inside wall of the pin blank. And then we have perfect. Wipe off that little dab of super glue. Accelerator. That one's good to go. Now, go again. That's set in 0.5 seconds, and that glue, that tube is in there, never to come out again. So I've got to go to my junk bin. As luck would have it, I've got a spare tube. See if it's the same size. It is. Now I got to go to my drill press and try and drill that out successfully without ruining the blank. Went to the drill press and it warbled it out just a hair, but I can live with that with enough CA glue. This is Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 9:28.
Last job that I did, where I had to re-drill that hole, I put a little bit of fine sanding dust around the tubes on the ends, and it worked out pretty good. I'll have to take an X-Acto blade and right in the end of the tube where all that extra CA was, just trim the CA around it and out. Alrighty, that looks really good. Now I'm going to go over to my Jet 1221 lathe, mini lathe.